Adlerian's iMessage technique. The origin of the iMessage technique began with Thomas Gordon, who introduced this technique in the 1970s to the area of family studies, and it focused on individualistic and autonomous aspects of relationships as a way to relate to others. iMessages promote willingness to change and are harmless to the relationship between the speaker and message receiver. I statements are used by pearls and gestalt therapists who encourage clients to use I to substitute it, you, or we when talking about themselves. The use of I messages forces the client to be responsible for his or her feelings, behaviors, or attitudes without placing blame on another. It also helps the client to realize that he or she needs to take action to change a situation. This technique allows other viewpoints to be conveyed and a conflict between two people to be resolved in a respectful manner. When implementing this technique, it is important to consider that there are two forms of iMessages. In simple iMessages, the speaker identifies the problem and identifies the source in a one-on-one basis. For example, a supervisor discussing work-related issues with a staff member. In I-compound messages, the problem is identified by the speaker and also identified by the individuals. For example, a staff member stating, "I feel sad when you put me down because other colleagues notice." There are two variations in the Adlerian iMessage technique. First, the need or desire is identified and is implemented by the speaker. For example, "I want to get to work on time." The speaker would then assist with solutions such as leaving early or taking another route. We statements are useful when a conflict is identified and an indirect implementation of a solution is needed. For example, a mother discussing chores with her children. "We need to clean our rooms." This example is implementing a task that the children are responsible for. iMessages have been found to be useful with children in primary settings such as school or home to curb behaviors that are inappropriate. Additionally, it is also effective in couples therapy. Research indicates that iMessages are useful for disciplinary and conflict situations in an influential manner. The use of behavior, feeling, consequence brings openness to changing behaviors and negotiating. iMessages are believed to lessen the aggressive response incited by you messages based on self-reports and encourage conflict resolution. iMessage technique demonstration.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
How's your day been?
Pretty good. Pretty low key so far today.
How's school going?
Still trying to get into a routine. It's been kind of crazy. My kids both started high school the same exact day I started school. So that was a little hectic, but now things are kind of settling down a little bit.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I do recall that last session you mentioned a little bit about your husband and not helping you around the house with the chores.
No changes.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, like I kind of touched a little bit on how I get a little frustrated. You know, I'm responsible for the kids, the house, the cooking, the cleaning, and you know, just simple things. I wish that he would pick up the toilet brush every once in a while and just scrub it. And I tell him it wouldn't kill you to do it. No man has ever died from having to do housework before. And that's just where, I get beside myself because I don't know how to get him to just do it naturally.
Well, you mentioned you're frustrated and it frustrates you. Have you tried bringing that to his attention and, maybe saying, it's frustrating that I have to take the children to school and I have to do this and I come home and you still don't help with the chores at home? And it kind of sets a bad example to the children because maybe they're not completing their chores as well. Are they completing their chores?
No, I mean, every time I mention it to anybody, it's an argument, especially with my husband. It never goes smoothly, and then I end up doing it anyway. So I'm frustrated, arguing and doing the cleaning. So we're in a cycle that's just not breaking. And with the kids, I try not to bother them too much when they have homework, but I wish that they, just like him, would just say, "Hey, mom looks a little stressed out. Maybe we should help with the chores."
So it sounds like it's your husband and your children who are also not helping you with the chores. And not only have you started school, but you also have homework, you have chores to do, take the children to school. Have you tried to incorporate a family meeting? Have you talked to everybody all at once? Maybe indirectly assigning, or not indirectly assigning, but indirectly bringing up everyone's chores. For example, we should all clean the rooms, we should all clean the restrooms, we should all clean the kitchen, and everyone knows that they're responsible for one of those things you mentioned. So that's indirectly bringing up the chores, but without pointing anybody out, without singling anybody out.
Right.
Have you tried to do that?
No, usually it's just one-on-one. And the only time I really communicate is when I'm already aggravated. So it's me assigning blame, me pointing out everything that they don't do. And I recognize that I'm not handling it the best way. And I think that's why, I'm kind of looking for a more effective way to communicate and maybe get some involvement, like they voluntarily will decide that they want to do it. But no, I definitely am like the "why didn't you clean your room" communicator right now.
Well, maybe that's something that you might want to look into. Maybe, set up a meeting with your husband and your children so you can address it all. You don't have to single anyone out if you feel that that'll create conflict, but maybe you can just include yourself in there because you do also help at the house. Your responsibility right now is taking your children to school and cleaning the house, and then bringing it up to everybody's attention that we as a whole should start cleaning the rooms, the restrooms, the kitchen, the yard, and all of that.
Right. Yeah, I definitely need to try to get them to help me because that's exactly what it is. I don't expect them to do everything. I just would like, for somebody to wipe the toilet down every once in a while.
Well, how about for the next session or throughout the week, you go ahead and have a meeting with your family. You try to incorporate everybody's chore and let everyone know their responsibilities indirectly. And then we'll see how things change. Maybe they won't change on the first try, but by beginning the implementation would be good. Is that something that you would like to work on this week?
I'm so desperate. I will definitely give it a try. I think maybe it would lessen the defensiveness and their reluctance to help me. It's like when I say, "Why haven't you?" They shut me out completely. So I definitely will try talking to them in a way that we're all doing it.
Okay, well then that sounds good. Go ahead and work on that throughout the week, and let's see how it turns out. And I'll meet you next Monday.
Okay.
If that's okay with you.
Yeah. Same time?
Yes. At the same time. Okay. Well,
right.
Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you. You as well.
Okay.
Credits: Alexandra Alba, Arturo Espinosa, Tania Rico, Jessica Watson.